Cyropedia, and we will start. So this is Cyropedia, Book 4, Section 3. And for Section 3, it's a bit of a long section, so we're going to try to kill it off all at once. 23, well, maybe not as long as some of them. The interesting thing that I will note coming up is going to be a discussion on centaurs. And so we're going to actually talk about centaurs as, maybe real individuals or something along that nature. So we will get into the story and be prepared to have centaurs mentioned. Okay. Cyropedia, Book 4, Section 3, Verse 1. Now, a part of the Medes were already bringing in the wagons, which had been hurried forward and which they had overtaken and turned back, packed full of what an army needs. Others were bringing in the carriages that conveyed the most high-born women, not only wedded wives, but also concubines, who, on account of their beauty, had been brought along. These also they captured and brought in. Ton the Medon tines idi, emen amaxus pro ormimenas kata lavondes, ke apostrepsendes pros ilavnon, mestas on vita stratia, the ke arma maxas ginecon ton veltiston ton men gnisium. Ton the ke polakidon Diato kalos sim periagomenon, tavtas iliphotes prosigon. 2. For even unto this day, all who go to war in Asia take with them to the field what they prize most highly. For they say that they would do battle the more valiantly if all that they hold dearest were there. For these, they say, they must do their best to protect. This may perhaps be true, but perhaps also they follow this custom for their own sensual gratification. Pandas gar eti, kenin, e katatin asian strativomini acondes, ta plistu oxia strativondam. Lagondas oti malon machind on e ta filtata parii, tutis gar facin anankin ina pro themos aloxin. Isos men unutos aki isos the ke pusin avta ti idoni charizomani. Number 3. When Cyrus saw what the Medes and Hyrcanians were doing, he poured reproach, as it were, upon himself and his men, because during this time the others seemed to be surpassing them in strenuous activity, and gaining something by it too, while he and his men remained in a position where there was little or nothing to do. And it did seem so, for when the horsemen brought in and showed to Cyrus what they brought, they rode away again in pursuit of the others, for they said they had been instructed by their officers so to do. Tria. O the Kyros theron ta ton midon erga ke irkanion osper kata memphato ke of tone ke tusin of toe iali tuton ton chronon ekmazin te malone of tone thokun ke pros takastheti of te the en argotera hora ipomani. Ke gar the e apagondas ke apodiknides kiro a egon pauline a pilavnon meta diokondes tus alus taftagar sphesin epheson prostatachthena signomi epheson prostatachthena piini boton or condom. Though Cyrus was naturally nettled at this, still he assigned a place to the spoil, and again he called his captains together, and standing where they would all be sure to hear his words of counsel, he spoke as follows. Thac nomenos Theokyros epitutis taftamen almost categorize, sinacali the Paulintus taxiarchus, que stas opoemelin pandus accusus de tavolomena, signomi tavolomena, legi tala. Friends, we all appreciate, I am sure, that if we could but make our own the good fortune that is now dawning upon us, great blessings would come to all the Persians, and above all, as is reasonable, to us by whom they are secured. But I fail to see how we are to establish a valid claim to the spoil if we cannot gain it by our own strength. And this we cannot do unless the Persians have cavalry of ours. Oti men o Andres, Fili, e kataski men, ta nin pro phenomena, megala men on opposi persis agatha genito, megista than ikioto simin, the on pratata, Pondas ima gignoskomen, opos the on avton emis kirii gignimetha. Mi aftarkis ondas ktisista emiesta ikion ipokon persis tuto ego ketioro. 5. Just think of it, he went on. We Persians, we arms with which it seems we go into close quarters and put the enemy to flight. And then when we have routed them, how could we without horses capture or kill horsemen or bowmen or targeteers in their flight? And what bowmen or spearmen or horsemen would we be afraid to come up and inflict loss upon us when they are perfectly sure more danger of being harmed by us than by the trees growing young? Penda. Enoita gardi, Effie, acomenimis, iperze, opla, is the cumen, trepasta tus polemius.